Have you ever noticed how some people are instantly recognizable? And I'm not just talking about their face or their clothes. Maybe it's a statement piece, maybe it's an accessory, or something as simple as a nose strip. The kind of element that you see it and think, yep, that's him. You see, that's not just luck, that's branding through style. And it's one of the most underrated tools, one standing out, creating branding, and making yourself unforgettable. Because the truth is that people don't remember you for what you say, but also remember the feelings that they get when you say it and how you look when you're saying it. You see, style isn't just fashion, okay? It's communication, it's identity. And when it's used right, it becomes a visual signature that people associate directly with what you stand for and who you are. So in this video, I'm breaking down how style shapes perception, how some iconic figures have used this in order to create branding, and how you can create exactly yours following the same blueprint I use with all my clients. So let's get to it. So the first thing you need to understand is the power of signature style. Have you ever noticed how some guys just need one element to be instantly recognized? Like, for example, if you see some guy with a black turtleneck, it gives you like kind of Steve Jobs vibe. Or if you see someone with a nose strip, you think, yeah, that's Hormozy. That's what I'm talking about, signature style. Something so simple, but yet so consistent that what people see associate to your identity. And it's powerful because it makes people associate an entire brand with just one element. Okay, this is not about looking fashionable. It's like, we could say, creating a kind of mental real estate with your audience. Because when people can visually anchor your message to your presence, you become more memorable and more credible. Thinking like this, okay? Your message is your product, but your style, your presence, is your packaging. And whether you like it or not, people judge your appearance before they even get to hear your message. So if you truly want to be taken seriously and be remembered, you need to start taking your style as a tool for your personal branding. Let's see some case studies of iconic style traits, and let's start from someone who is current in the new generation, like Alex Hormozy. I'm sure you know him because this guy built an entire empire on fitness and business. But the one thing he's most remembered for, what is it? His nose strip. Because at first, a lot of people joked about it, but now it's branding. It's the thing that most people recognize him for. But it's not just about the nose strip, okay? It's about the association you make when you see him with that nose strip. It's like, when you see him, you don't think that this guy cares about looks. He cares about performance, and that's the message he wants to send through his branding. But the anchor, it's this nose strip. Or then we got someone like Steve Jobs, okay? He's the king of visual identity, and you can always see him with a fitted black turtleneck and some New Balances, okay? It's a simple, clean outfit, but now it's like permanently burned into the collective brain of the innovator look. You know, what Jobs was trying to communicate about his style was not being the most fashionable guy, but being the guy that says that he has bigger things to think about than his style, being straight to the point and minimalist. Or then you have someone like Andrew Tate, who has very rugged and flashy outfits, but at the same time, if he wants to look classy, he knows perfectly how to do that. And that's exactly the message he wants to say through his branding. Okay, he's polemic and mediatic. So here we can see a clear pattern. Okay, none of these guys is dressed randomly. They are all dressed deliberately and based on what they want to portray through his branding. And they clearly say that through his clothing, okay? Not just what they say, but also what you associate when you see them. But actually, there's a psychological reason behind all this, and that's what I want to talk next. It's the science behind style and perception. There's this concept in psychology called enclothed cognition, and it basically says that clothing is not just how other people perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. And what this means is that your posture, your confidence, and how you dress can dramatically affect how you behave and the actions that you take. And there was actually a study made because of this, okay? They gave a group of students a coat during a test, and some of them were told that it was a doctor's coat, and the other ones was told that it was a painter's coat, but it was exactly the same coat, just a different label. And the results were that the group that wore the doctor's coat performed way better. Why? Because they were more concentrated and more focused, because they perceived themselves as someone in a higher level. They perceived themselves as someone smarter, more responsible, and more confident. That's enclosed cognition in action, okay? The way that you're dressed affects dramatically the way you perform and behave. Now here's the thing, if you stack this with repetition and you stick to just one style, it may be a way of dressing, maybe a color palette, maybe an accessory, people begin to associate that message to your image, to your authority, to your identity. From now on, you stop just being a normal guy and you start being a recognizable brand. And that's why style is not just a surface level, okay? It's a strategy. It can be a mental positioning. So you have to start using that to your favor if you have a personal brand, because it can dramatically change how people see you and perceive you even before you start to speak. Okay, now you get it. Signature style is powerful, but the real question here is how you can build yours. Now let's start crafting your own signature style. Here's the blueprint that I use with my clients. The first thing that you need to do is start with your identity. Okay, forget about the trends, forget about what's the common clothes that usually people wear. Just think about, what do you want to portray through your message? What image do you want to give to people when they look at you? Keep in mind that your style should be a visual echo of your personality and your values. Okay, so just think about, who are you becoming? Do you want to give this kind of gentleman or businessman vibe? Do you want to give the rebel high performer vibe? Just think about that. And what image do you want to portray? The second thing that you need to do is picking one core trait to highlight, okay? You need one signature style element that people can associate with you. And as we said, Hormozy has the strip in the nose, Steve Jobs has the black turtleneck. Now, you need some element that people can associate with you, and this can be various different things actually, okay? You can start from the clothing, maybe it's an accessory for you, maybe it's a color palette. You need to find something for you that highlights your personality and values. Here the goal is not to be loud, but deliberate, okay? And something that you can apply consistently over the time. Because here's the third thing that you need to do. Stay consistent with it. And here's the part where most guys fail, okay? It needs to be part of your life from now on. Something that every time that people sees you through your message, they see and they can associate with you. The key here is repetition, okay? It's being predictable, something that you always carry with you and that people, when they see, they say, that's him. But the very common problem that I see with my clients is that maybe they don't know exactly what they want to wear from day one. So that's not what you should worry about, okay? And that's actually the point number 4, that you should refine over time. You don't need to pick one thing from day one and stick to it forever, as you will evolve and you will with time start seeing what fits you better and what matches your energy best. So just pick one topic and with time start refining, and you will eventually see what you like most and when it's easier for you to carry around at all times. Actually, another thing that I could say is that you should make it functional, okay? There's one of the 3 things in the scale of style that is function, and it should match your lifestyle, okay? You should take into consideration where you live, what your hobbies are, what you do for a living, and start dressing accordingly to that. Like for example, if you're in a place with a very hot weather, you will try to avoid fabrics like, for example, wool, okay? You will prefer going for linen. Also, for example, if you're a business guy, you will want people to associate with you with a high value man, so you'll start dressing more smart and more refined, for example with a suit. The key here is to be authentic, okay? It's your personality will portray everything that you want to say through your message. And that's the way actually I got to pick my personal style and the way I want my branding to be. Okay, I want to portray this kind of gentleman image through my life. And when I go to the street, I always wear suits because I want to be associated with business. That's the way I can make people associate me through kind of a serious lifestyle and through money, success, and everything that I want to achieve in life. For example, with one of my clients, what he wanted to do is portray an image of authority and being at the same time kind of edgy. So we went for a full black wardrobe, like every kind of outfit that he wants to wear, it's full black. And he also has this edgy style through accessories, like for example, his glasses. So every time he goes to the street, he goes dressed like this. Because it doesn't matter that you build this wardrobe for whenever you want to make videos or have sales calls, for example. You have to build this identity through all your lifestyle. So every time that you walk into the street, every time that you have any setting, you should always portray that image with you, because it's every time that people need to associate you with that image. So the easiest way to do that is always carry this kind of attires, accessories, whatever you chose with you at all times. Because at the same time, you will start developing the perception of yourself that you are that person. and that is what will portray your personality to. I'm confident enough to tell you that personal branding through style is one of the most amazing tools that you can use if you want to be more remembered and be more iconic. Okay, I would say iconic is the word, because every time that people sees you will associate you with that. But at the same time, every single time that people sees that object, that attire, accessory, will think of you. And it's one way to do marketing without people even have to see you. Okay, your attire, signature style that you have, will talk alone without you having to be there. As always, if you have any doubt, you will have my Instagram down here in the description, so you can ask me absolutely any question that you might have. Okay, it's been a pleasure, guys, and I'll see you in the next one, gents.